This is quite spectacular. Now, exactly what are we looking at? We're looking at the effect in relation to sarcopenia, lactoferrin, creatine, and henceforth the combination. Now, ready to be amazed? Let's check this out. All right, here we go. Now, the control, no sarcopenia, just normal animal model or mice. B, sarcopenia and nothing. C, lactoferrin in sarcopenia, looks pretty good. D, creatine in sarcopenia, looks better. E, the combination of lactoferrin and creatine, the amazing impact it has in relation to mitigating the impact of sarcopenia. Now, they postulate creatine helping with energy, lactoferrin, in a very overly simplified way, helping with protein synthesis, working together in a synergistic combination to yield an incredible result. Now, there's even more than that. So let's get right into the study as follows. The combination of lactoferrin and creatine ameliorates muscle decay in sarcopenia murine model, otherwise an animal study. To proceed as forward. The backstory. The two principal characteristics of sarcopenia are reduction in muscle mass and deterioration in muscle function. The roles of both lactoferrin and creatine in muscle aging have been demonstrated. Lactoferrin and creatine each play an important role in muscle aging. Lactoferrin has the capacity to enhance the protein supply for muscle growth, while creatine supplementation has been demonstrated to enhance the ATP supply, adenosine triphosphate, thereby providing the material and energy for muscle growth, both having the potential to improve sarcopenia in different ways, henceforth synergistic. Now, what we're looking at in the method here is as follows. We're looking at an 8-week animal study. You see the dosage there in lactoferrin at 500 milligrams a kilogram a day and 83 milligrams a kilogram a day. Keep in mind, this is a mouse model. We'll show you the calculations in regard to body surface area, or generally what you may refer to as human equivalent. Normally we think it's pound for pound or kilogram to kilogram. That's counterintuitive, and I used to think the same way myself, but no, not the case. But I'll show you at the end. All right, to begin. Chart 2. This is the benefit yielded in regard to creatine and lactoferrin and the combination as follows. Now, again, what's amazing, let's say, for example, you look at the muscle mass model. All right, the control, no sarcopenia. The model has sarcopenia, and each bar after that have sarcopenia as well in basically relation to either adding lactoferrin, creatine, or both to the diet per se. The combination in many of these charts that you see here, hopefully you can see it in 4K, and also too, I tried to make the charts a little easier to understand, henceforth the attribution between Advanced Gemini, Python, and I myself. But looking at the combination, they even outperformed the control that had no sarcopenia at all. That is pretty profound. Look at each graph as is. Now, this is not all the graphs included in the study itself, but these are the ones I wanted to highlight from grip strength, muscle fibers, the hanging test, exhaustion time. The exhaustion time I found quite amazing. Again, remember, the combination group has sarcopenia as well as consuming both creatine and lactoferrin. That is just astounding. Now, to give you a little bit of backstory here as well, that's what the charts look like per se. And again, we used Advanced Gemini to simplify the charts to make it a little easier for viewing. All right, to proceed, another highlight. The interventions with lactoferrin or creatine resulted in significant improvement in lean mass, GAS mass, and GAS index in mice. The lactoferrin group was more effective than the creatine group. Muscle mass was significantly higher in the combined group, as to reiterate what we saw prior. According to the European Working Group on Sarcopenia in Elderly, muscle strength is more important than mass in the diagnosis and staging of sarcopenia. The behavioral results, including grip strength, indicate that muscle strength and function were significantly improved in the intervention group, particularly in the combined group. The results of the pathological staining indicate a comparable outcome, as we saw in the beginning of the research presentation. Or I should say narrative. These findings suggested that interventions involving creatine and lactoferrin may be effective in alleviating the progression of sarcopenia. To bring us to the conclusion. In conclusion, quoting, the inhibitory effect of creatine and lactoferrin on sarcopenia may affect skeletal muscle energy metabolisms by regulating the proliferation, differentiation, and senescence. Now, an interesting part about this too, they alluded a lot to aging or mitigating the impact of aging. So, although we're looking at muscle and sarcopenia, it may have a wide range of applications even beyond what we're looking at in regard to the outcome. There's danger interjecting publisher bias, but you get the picture. In process of myofibroblasts. The combined group appears to have a more significant effect on energy metabolism. It may promote protein synthesis and delay muscle loss in mice. However, further investigation and validation is still required. The present study is expected to provide novel nutritional interventions for sarcopenia and adjunctive interventions in the clinical treatment of sarcopenia. And as promised, we are going to look at the body surface area calculations. Now, keep in mind, this is highly hypothetical, and there's much more that we've discovered in regard to microbiome and other things that help with digestion and facilitation of other nutrients beyond that just of an animal system. Now, again, it's counterintuitive. We think pound for pound, but using calculations in body surface area, you can understand more how it works. And the postulation in regard to the calculation, highly hypothetical, was about 2.8 grams per day to about a half a gram a day for a 150-pound person. Again, estimation only, highly hypothetical. But still, just the same, we are making incredible progress nutritionally in finding ways to mitigate the impact of sarcopenia. And you really have to give it credit to the researchers. This is an incredible study which could have a profound impact on huge segments of the population in many parts of the world. Again, gratitude to the researchers. I am humble you watch. Again, super, super cool. And I look forward to see what you and I both discover next week. All right, catch you all next time. See you then. Bye.